Prime Minister Keir Starmer is facing backlash after accepting gifts worth thousands of dollars.
The Prime Minister's acceptance of freebies and hospitality has dominated the political landscape this week. But what exactly has Sir Keir Starmer been criticised for? What are his party's concerns, and what has he said about it? Sir Keir Starmer has come under scrutiny over the past week for accepting more than £100,000 worth of gifts. It all began with controversy surrounding his wife's clothes and has escalated since it was revealed that he has received more freebies and hospitality than any other MP since 2019, totaling £107,145. His acceptance of football tickets has proven particularly contentious, with some government officials reportedly concerned about a potential conflict of interest. But what exactly has Sir Keir been criticised for? What are his party's concerns, and what has he said about it? His wife's clothes. Talk of the PM's gifts began last weekend when the Sunday Times reported that he had breached parliamentary rules by failing to declare some of his wife's high-end clothes, which were purchased for her by his biggest personal donor, Lord Ali. Specifically, it was revealed that Lord Ali, the former chairman of the online fashion retailer ASOS, paid for a personal shopper, clothes, and alterations for Lady Victoria Starmer both before and after the Labour leader became Prime Minister in July. MPs are required to register gifts and donations within 28 days of receiving them, but it is understood that the donations for Lady Starmer's clothes were submitted late. Conservatives have been calling for an investigation into the potential breach of rules, which a spokesperson for Number 10 stated was an oversight that has since been corrected. We believed we'd been compliant, however, following further interrogation this month, we've declared further items, the spokesperson told Sky News. Sir Keir has also received and disclosed other gifts from Lord Ali totaling £39,122. These donations included an unspecified accommodation donation worth £20,437, work clothing valued at £16,200, and multiple pairs of glasses equivalent to £2,485. Some Tory MPs have condemned Sir Keir for accepting the gifts at all, with Shadow Science and Technology Secretary Andrew Griffiths stating, "It beggars belief that the Prime Minister thinks it's acceptable that pensioners on PS13,000 a year can afford to heat their homes when he earns 12 times that but apparently can't afford to clothe himself or his wife." His comments refer to the government's decision to cut winter fuel payments for most pensioners. Football tickets. The Premier League is one of the biggest donors of hospitality, and Sir Keir, a renowned Arsenal fan, has received almost £40,000 in tickets overall since December 2019. He has declared £12,588 worth of gifts from the Premier League, which includes numerous hospitality tickets to Arsenal matches costing well over £10,000 in total, €2 finals tickets valued at £1,628, and thousands of pounds worth of tickets from other Premier League clubs. Officials are warning the Prime Minister that he could be opening himself up to inappropriate lobbying by continuing to accept football tickets, as the government is planning to establish an independent football regulator for the professional men's game. Ministers are usually advised to avoid hospitality from any organisation connected to an ongoing government regulatory decision. Discussions around his gifts, which also include 4 tickets to a Taylor Swift concert totaling £4,000, come amid controversy over the prices concert goers and football fans are facing to attend events. What has Starmer said in response to criticism? Speaking to journalists this week, the Prime Minister stated, "All MPs get gifts, and he believes that the requirement to declare them is a good framework." He added, "Wherever there are gifts from anyone, I'm going to comply with the rules. It's very important to me that the rules are followed. I've always said that. I said that before the election, and I reinforced it after the election. And that's why shortly after the election, my team reached out for advice on what declarations should be made to ensure compliance with the rules. They then sought further advice more recently, as a result of which they've made the relevant declarations. Regarding his acceptance of Arsenal tickets, he remarked, "I'm a massive Arsenal fan. I can't go into the stands because of security reasons. Therefore, if I don't accept a gift of hospitality, I can't go to a game. You could say, well, bad luck, that's why gifts have to be registered. But never going to an Arsenal game again because I can't accept hospitality is pushing it a bit far." Another of the opposition's critiques of the PM has been his so-called hypocrisy on Sunday. Former Home Secretary and Tory leadership hopeful James cleverly told Sky News that Sir Keir was very, very critical of the Conservatives over similar controversies and had basically got his job by criticising others. While Sir Keir didn't comment on gifts during his election campaign, he regularly labelled former PM Rishi Sunak and his government as out of touch with the public's financial struggles. Some of the PM's cabinet members have leapt to his defence, albeit with differing arguments. Business Secretary Jonathan Reynolds told Sky News that Sir Keir works incredibly hard and therefore deserves a wider life experience rather than simply working every second of the day. Meanwhile, Foreign Secretary David Lammy argued that prime ministers and their spouses must look their best on the world stage, and thus accepting gifts of clothes is acceptable when there is no taxpayer-funded budget for it.